I think one of the biggest testimony builders for me in the mission was with one of our investigator families, that we didn't actually do the finding of them. We were in one of my areas. We were right next to like I said, we were next to the temple, which in Argentina, attached to the temple, there is their MTC. And at the time, it was just more like local missionaries that would go there, just the ones that were native Spanish speakers. And so for some of their practicing, they would go out every now and then and spend 8 hours just knocking doors and just kind of getting these kids to open up and to learn what it was like to have to open your mouth and talk to someone else on their doorstep about the gospel. And so they would always kind of do it at the end of their MTC time there. And so there was one day that we knew some missionaries had gone out, and then afterwards they put all of their referral names basically in their big pile, sent it all back through the MTC there. It gets all delved out to our mission president, who basically it all gets down to us, and we'll get a couple of names of people that they spoke to, and it's still in the missionaries' handwriting as to whether or not they gave them Book of Mormon, or if they just kind of talked to them, they had some interest, whatever it was, but it was only the ones that they really kind of felt were promising. And normally it was just, we were able to bear our testimonies and they accepted that. Or, yeah, they want you guys to pass by and talk to them. A lot of times with those, they just wouldn't ever answer the door after that. They just said that so the elders would leave. But we had one that on the note card, it said that she had a lot of questions. She accepted the Book of Mormon on her doorstep, which that was kind of a rare thing. So we thought, oh, this is kind of cool. We'll go by and go talk to this family. So we went by, they were there on Saturday. I think we went Monday. And when we showed up on Monday, she had already read through the first 6 chapters of First Nephi. And I mean, we sat down and started to talk to her, and she pretty much just stopped us and said, "This is what I've been looking for. When can I join?" And it was the coolest thing to find out that she had been an active member in 4 different churches throughout her life in that area. And when I say active, I mean she was up in their leadership, kind of heading their relief society for each of the different churches, and was a huge part in the community with it. But she always felt like there was something missing. She was missing something more recent. They were always going off of the Bible. They were always going off of different interpretations of the Bible. And even through the different churches she had been in, there was just different understandings, which to her, none of them quite seemed right anyway. So she always knew. And this woman was probably in her late 30s. She had 3 kids. And, she just didn't know. She was using her best judgment, but just hadn't found what she was looking for. And before we had even shown up, she knew that the Book of Mormon was what she was missing. And so she was probably the fastest progressing investigator I ever had. She wanted to be baptized that first Sunday. We really wanted to go through with her and kind of get her kids on board, and her husband wasn't kind of on board. So we wanted to kind of take our time with it. And so when we came back a few days later, she had already finished First Nephi. She had already prayed about it and had a really amazing experience for herself that really just confirmed for her that this was what she was missing, was having a prophet today, and having modern revelation was really kind of the key of what she knew what she was missing, even though she didn't know it. And the way she kind of said it was that it filled that hole within her that she didn't know how to fill it. And it was just through praying about it that she just knew. And so that was one of the coolest things, is that we were able then her husband still, he never wanted to meet with us. She said he had never had a part in any religion she had ever been a part of. So we weren't too surprised, but we never really got him to join with us, even in a conversation. He would just step outside whenever we got there. So it wasn't against us, but was never really about it. But he was able to come to the baptism. But we baptized both her and her 2 children, as well as her niece and her niece's daughter, who lived there with them. So we were able to baptize all of them at that time. And I've kept in touch with them, and it's been 3 or 4 years since I've seen them. But she's now the Relief Society president. In fact, she was the Relief Society president within a year of being baptized. Both boys are both still active in the church, and they're 15 and 16 now. And I was just talking with one of them last week through Facebook, and he's super excited that they changed the ages for the missions because he's excited to go on his mission. And that was probably the biggest success that I feel of my mission, is just knowing that not only did I get to baptize someone, but hopefully someone else will go on a mission and do the same thing.